Good afternoon, folks. This is Hunter Jackson again with Giant Recreation World, Winter Garden, Florida, and I am excited to share with you today a new travel trailer that just pulled onto the lot. This is going to be the 2026 Coachmen Apex 186BH, BH standing for bunkhouse. And the reason that I chose this trailer today is because I think this is my new favorite family entry-level travel trailer. This is an awesome model, tons to talk about, and let's not waste any time getting right into it. Let's go. Alrighty guys, and before we get started in this video today, I want to say thank you again. Keep liking, commenting, and subscribing on the channel here. We've got the $50 Amazon gift card coming at the end of the month. I'm trying to do a better job about, giving y'all like MSRP prices and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, this is not a sales channel. This is a channel for me to share the ones that I think are cool. So let's go ahead and get right into it, and thanks for watching. Let's go. Alrighty guys, and just like normal, let's start off on the front cap of this 2026 Coachmen Apex. First thing that I noticed after those drone shots is that we've got the off-grid package, meaning we get two 20-pound LP tanks right here on the front. Those are the ones that you can exchange at any gas station. However, one thing I noticed very quickly is that we've got a manual jack here in the front. That's a super easy swap out if you wanted to go the powered option, but it's definitely worth noting. As I move around the front side of this front cap here, this is a fiberglass front cap with a beautiful automotive grade window going on. We've got a couple of small LED strips. I'm not sure if you can see them in the sunshine right now, but it's a well-designed, good-looking front cap. And I think, hold up, this looks new for 2026, these raised embossed letterings on the front side here. Moving down the side of the coach, first thing I want to talk about is going to be the construction on the coach. Coachmen Apex is awesome on the construction side. So we're going to be doing aluminum framing through both the roof trussing and the floor, as well as the walls, obviously. And then this is going to be a vacuum bonded laminated coach with the fiberglass on the side. And then Coachmen is also doing double layer Azdel. So one layer on the inside and one layer on the outside. Moving down below to our pass-through storage area, we've got some good space. This camper is probably about 22 feet tip to tail or so, and I think there's about 1.5 feet in between on the pass-through, and probably the same for the roof height. As we move off to the side, we can see our controls for our LED cap lights. This is going to be our solar charge controller. This coach does have 200 watts of solar on board, and a well finished off pass-through storage area. Backing it off a little bit here, you can see we've got a nice size awning. One thing that I noticed walking up to this coach though is that this door does not completely clear when the awning's out. However, it does get to almost a 45-degree angle and it doesn't feel like it's in the way walking in. Moving down below, we've got a double solid step, another nice feature to have. It's not quite fully entry level. However, the price point on this unit is not absurd. It's got an MSRP of about 34 grand or so. Click the link in the description if you're curious about our pricing or what your local market pricing would be. Moving down the side of the coach here, you can see we've got our outside 110 ports, so you can plug in a TV or an outside griddle if you'd like. And then down below here, we've got single axle on this coach. It's just shy of 4,000 pounds. I think this is the only real knock I could give it. Dual axle is not necessary on a coach this size, but it's something that always made me feel a little bit better going down the road. Moving up, you can see we've got our LED strip that goes all the way across. Fairly standard on most of your campers these days. And then moving into our outside kitchen area, you can see we've got a nice little griddle here. Nothing too fancy or schmancy about it. Up above, we do have power, both 110 and USB-A, USB-C. A nice little bottle opener if that's what you're into. And then a place to put those bottles. A smaller outside refrigerator here, but this is gonna be great for waters where you don't have to track into the camper and get it all dirty. You can stay outside and keep camping with your fridge. Moving off to the back side of this coach, very exciting stuff again. Just like most of the travel trailers we look at, We do have a 4-inch steel bumper down below here, but Apex has included a spare, which I think is a huge feature. Super easy to get to that spare as well. And then moving up above here, we've got our Furrion backup camera prep. So if you want a camera for the rear of this coach, you got it. And one thing to note about the total size of the coach is it is on a narrow body. So you're gonna be able to see around the side of it a little bit easier than most of your others. Moving down to the business end of the coach, you can see we've got no slides going on. So no slides, less worries. And then down in the back here, we've got our power outlets, we've got our TV satellite hookups, and then directly above my Jackery battery pack is gonna be our sewer exhaust down below here. So we've got our gray handle on the left, black handle on the right. Fairly self-explanatory stuff, but one thing that I really like is gonna be that we've got our black tank flush on board. So again, not entry level, that we've got a black tank flush right next to our city water connection. Moving back a little bit, we do have an outside hot cold shower on the business end again. This is gonna be our furnace exhaust. We have an on-demand Fagatti hot water heater right here. And then right on the very front of the coach, this is gonna be our fresh water fill port here. And then the back side of our pass-through storage. Final thing that I want to mention on the business end is that this coach does come with 4 stab jacks, not just the 2 in the rear, but we get 2 in the front, making a lot more stable once you get it leveled at your campsite. And then moving out and around, let's get one more look at the front cap on the 2026 Coachmen Apex 186BH. Alrighty guys, and moving inside of the 186BH, keep in mind this is a no slide travel trailer, so as we go inside, I'm gonna do my best to make the space seem as big as possible. Sometimes I struggle though because my camera doesn't do a full wide angle, but getting your first looks on the inside, everything is very beautiful. They've gone with the blue and cream kind of interior design. And let me go ahead and back up real quick so I can start talking about everything that I'm seeing. So right here in the front, this is gonna be where your primary bed is. This is a queen size mattress with the couch down below here. This couch jackknifes down to put the bed into place. I'd like to go ahead and demonstrate that now. Alrighty guys, this is a fairly simple Murphy style bed, but before I get ahead of myself, I do want to point out very quickly that this couch does have a couple of cup holders, making it a theater style of couch. So you've got drinks if you need them, and then power on each side of this is going to be located on the left and the right. Both sides have 110 and USB-A, USB-C. However, when it's time to finally lay down at night, it's super easy to put into place here. You're gonna pull from the bottom and push this little cushion down, then grab your bed. Typically you're gonna have sheets on it already, right? But flip it over, we're in bed mode, and at 6'2" with these shoes on, I've got plenty of space for both me and a partner. You can see our window curtain right here behind me for our daytime views or morning views. And this is a pretty solid little bed system. They've crammed a lot into a small space, and actually for this coach, I kind of dig the Murphy bed. And then once you get your bed fit up in the morning, you can go ahead and look up at your beautiful Stargazer package. That's something unique about the one that we've ordered here. It's got a nice window that does pop open to give you some of that airflow. On the left-hand side here, we've got our blackout curtains, so you can sleep in if you want to. And then on the right side here, we've got what could be a bug screen / daytime curtain, which is a great idea. In order to get this piece down though, it's super easy. Grab one of these handles here. Well, let's grab one from the front here. Drop it into place, flip them over, you're locked in, ready to go. Backing it off a little bit, let's talk about the storage on the front of this 2026 Coachmen Apex. Swinging the doors off, wow, these are actually pretty darn good size cabinets up here in the front. They go all the way back. I want to say, same with the pass-through storage, probably 1.5 feet deep or so, deeper than what I'm accustomed to on travel trailers. And then moving off to the right-hand side, this is going to be our hanging storage. So being on a more narrow body coach, you can see our hanger there in the top. We do only have one side of hanging storage, but that's just due to space limitations. Move this out of the way here. There we go. And then right down below, like I told you before, we do have our 110 and USB-A, USB-C ports. And below the Murphy style couch, We've got a little bit more space down here for some small plastic totes, something that you're gonna grab probably aftermarket here. Moving up and over, I want to point out we've got our emergency exit window that does open so you can get a nice cross breeze. And then something I really appreciate, I know this is only a 22-foot long camper, but having this curtain here to be able to separate off a bedroom portion is really nice, especially if you've got kids on the road with you. Moving out and around, let's go ahead and show you our kitchen setup. We do have a really well designed kitchen. So you can see we've got a 2-burner Greystone propane oven. Down below here we do have a Furrion convection microwave, so this can do your baking, air frying, and microwaving. Below that is going to be our single exit furnace exhaust. And then moving to the right, a little bit of storage going on here. So it looks like we're going to run out of a spot for a trash can. Maybe you're going to be putting it right on the other side of these cabinets here. And then we've got two drawers, not true, off to the side. It looks like they're using thicker plywood this year. That's pretty cool. And then these are going to be stapled drawers as well. This is also a first impressions of this coach. I haven't seen this model before. Moving up and over though, a couple of cabinets going on with our goodie bag off to the right hand side here. And these look to be some covers for maybe a window curtain. We'll put it up on the screen if we can determine what that is. Moving out and around, want to go ahead and show you, we get a traditional dinette. So while we've got sleeping for 4, we also have seating for 4, which is really cool. And this does break down into an additional bed. So in theory, you could sleep 5 in this coach. I do want to demonstrate how this bed goes down real quick. I've done it in a few different videos, but that doesn't mean that everybody's watching those videos. So on this style is going to be your posts. Pull your table up here. Sometimes it's easier if you're sitting down. I always like to grab the post with the opposite hand here. And then these cushions are a little bit wider than I'm typically used to. So sliding it onto the lip down below. Let's move this other cushion out of our way here. Bada bing, bada boom. And check this out. If you really needed it, if you want to sleep 5 people in this 22-foot long camper, you can do it. And I fit actually much better than I thought I was going to. For one night, I could make this work. This is definitely going to be more of a child-size seating here, but not a bad option if you need it. You've got a nice campsite window going on so you can see what's happening. These are going to be on your roller shades, which is a nice feature to have. None of that accordion baloney. And then up above here, a couple more cabinets for storage. Kind of strange that they didn't carry it through here. I wonder what's going on in the back side of that. But good storage nonetheless. Moving over, you can see that this coach does have double over double beds, so even adults are going to be able to sleep very comfortably here. And then check this out. On the lower bed here, let's see if I can position it. I want to show you this. On the lower bed here, you can move it up and out of the way to get you some additional storage. So there's a little clip up here. Let's pop it into place. Bada bing, bada boom. And then swinging on around, we've got enough space to, in theory, fit a bicycle back in here, which is normally they'll put a door back here, but at least they gave us the extra storage option if you're only bringing one person with you. Moving out, we do have a 10 cubic foot, 12 volt refrigerator, which is already nice and cold in only 30 minutes of being plugged in. And then one other thing about the off-grid package is going to be this upgraded Max Air style fan. So this is going to be the big boy. It's actually nice and cool in this coach. It's pretty warm outside still, but yeah, I've got good airflow going on. Moving into the restroom portion, we've got maybe a make or break for some of you. So this is going to be a tub style shower. I've had mixed feedback on this particular style of shower. However, I fit pretty okay in this one, height wise. I mean, it is small, but it gets the job done. This is a 22-foot camper. This is something you're going to grab, go to the beach, go to the mountain. Super easy. You can see our nozzle is actually at a pretty comfortable head height. We do have a curtain style here, which is in my opinion, but other than the shower, the bathroom's actually really well laid out. You can see off to the side here, they've included our battery fresh black and gray controls to kind of see where your levels are at while you're doing your business. And then we've got our on-demand hot water heater control. Right above, couple places for some towels when you're done showering. And then moving over, you do get a sink in the bathroom, so you don't have to wash your face and brush your teeth in the kitchen sink. And a little bit more storage down here for some extra toilet paper, cleaning materials, things of that nature. Moving up, 2 storage compartments, one without the mirror and one behind the mirror for your medicine cabinet. And then let me swing us out and around. We've got a little spot to hang a towel, just a little attention to detail kind of thing. And then down below here, it is a plastic toilet. Not a surprise at all. Apex's thing is lightweight, lightweight, lightweight. That may be a cost savings thing, but more than likely, actually in their case, is gonna be a weight savings thing. Let's go ahead and get one more pan around on the 2026 Coachmen Apex 186BH. Alrighty guys, I feel like this was probably at the shorter end time-wise for one of my reviews. It's fairly quick, but it's not a huge coach, so this was a very, very special option for me to pick today. In my opinion, there's a lot of travel trailers out there, you know, after discounts and all that kind of stuff that you could find for that 15 or 20-ish, but spending a little bit more money on a coach like this, it's gonna last you 10 times as long. Just for a little bit, and I don't know if anybody even cares out there, we actually rent out our Coachmen Apexes, so there's something to be said about reliability. If a dealership is choosing to rent them, obviously they can hold up to the abuse of rentals. So I really, really love this brand. I like their construction with the aluminum frame, fiberglass, Azdel, aluminum frame, and the roof trussing, just all sorts of good things. So like always, I really appreciate everybody that watched this video and made it to this point. If you would please like, comment, and subscribe. That's been helping the channel grow so much. And don't forget, we do have a $50 gift card giveaway for Amazon here at the end of June. So that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next week. Later.